Hello and welcome to my presentation for Project 3 of the Devil's Highway. So today I'll begin with the three elements from the Devil's Highway that captured my attention, starting with the moment when Urea describes how Border Patrols have their way with the migrants because of where they're located. The quote that I have for this is not pictured on the slide, but I will state it. It states, stories burn all along the borderlands of the Border Patrolmen, taking prisoners out into the wasteland and having their way with them. He later states women are handcuffed and then groped and molested. The second element from the Devil's Highway that captured my attention was a sad letter that Mendez wrote in hopes to be pardoned. In this letter, Mendez states his intentions and how he got into the business of smuggling because it didn't involve killing or stealing. And he concludes that everything that happened in the desert was an accident. Prior to exposing us to the letter, Mendez is quoted by Uriam when he states, Mendez wrote a sad letter, but it could not stand against Charlton's language and the organization. How I might present the three elements in the 2020s. Based on my reading of the afterword 10 years on, in The Devil's Highway, I would infer that the corruption that existed in the early 2000s still exists today. For example, Uriah states everything has changed and the worst of it remains the same. The letter that Mendez wrote to be pardoned would be televised in today's society and would receive social media attention. Interestingly, I believe that Mario and the men would have reacted similarly in the 2020s, although there was a risk in being caught by Border Patrol. They all knew that they needed to be found. Urea quotes Mario when he states, we were looking right and left for La Migra because we were dying. Um, the first perspective that I consider to be of value in The Devil's Highway was storytelling. Throughout the entirety of the book, we are exposed to the stories of the migrants and their voyage through the Sonoran Desert. Both perspectives of storytelling in the 2000s through the 2020s are necessary for better understanding the experience of migrants. Storytelling has taken a new form in the 2020s with the help of the digital age. According to Krauss and Gubrium, digital stories are short, first-person visual narratives that synthesize digital image, audio recordings, music, text to document personal experiences. For example, this can be seen on any social media platform. It is easier to share a perspective because of all the different medias and outlets there are to share this information and the different ways to express yourself. The second perspective that I consider to be important in The Devil's Highway is Border Patrol. In the afterword, 10 years on, in The Devil's Highway, Uriah explains the USP BP station made infamous by his book. Wilton Station had about 32 agents during the time when he was visiting them, and today there are hundreds of Border Patrol agents working in many ports of entry. Political involvement in Arizona has, of course, encouraged a surge in security of the border. According to Oliphant and Serta, conservative Republicans are more likely to express strong support for more restrictive immigration goals, such as increased border security and increased deportations, even with the compared with their party. And of course, you can see any of these political posters on the streets, almost anywhere that you drive in Arizona, with border wall, political information, I guess you could call it, and border security. The third perspective that I consider to be important in The Devil's Highway is immigration and heat crisis. In the 2000 perspectives we were given, Uriah exposes us to the stages of hyperthermia with great detail. And this is all located on page 120. He goes through the stages one by one, and we're revealed to how the men respond to heat exhaustion. Unfortunately, as the years progressed, climate changes have tremendously affected the migration process in the US, and the increase in temperature has drastically affected the migration process. According to Kennedy, a long-term study of unauthorized migration was conducted and modeled the risk of dehydration and death during the undocumented border crossings. Both now and over the next 30 years, the results showed that extreme temperature and desert conditions will only make the journey for migrants worse, ultimately causing more deaths. Here is my works cited page, and thank you so much for watching. I hope that you all enjoyed it.